إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفر ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Okay, today we are in our Tajweed class. We're in our Tajweed class, walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, and we are on the subject of Idgham. Now there's a few things I need to make mention here, okay? The first thing is this. We are in, I don't know the number of the lesson. However, the first thing that we did is we went over the introduction to this text. And the point I'm doing now is that there are certain things that you should know at this stage, okay? There are certain things. We've had, I think, 7 lessons, or this is the 7th lesson that we're going through right now. So those 6 prior lessons aren't lessons that you should have just taken as entertainment. Those are lessons that should have been memorized and the points made therein known so that you can utilize them. Okay? The first point was that the author of this text, his name is Jamzuri. You know? Sulaiman al-Jamzuri, right? So we should know that. And that Jamzur is a village where? It's in Egypt, in modern day Egypt, close to the city of Tanta. And there's a lot of people from Tanta that are very good with the Quran. If you find one that studied in Tanta, they'll probably be one of the best people you meet to do Tajweed. Imam al-Husari, we mentioned, is from Tanta. He has a masjid there. And they still, his teachers and Jamzuri's relatives are still there teaching the science of Tajweed. Everybody has their best thing, but this is the thing that that village or those people around Tanta are well known for, in Garbiya. Next, we spoke about 10 things that everybody needs to know about whatever science you're studying. And we were saying that this is the science of Tajweed, and it used to be mixed up with what science? The science of Qira'ah. There used to be one. In fact, as we go along, sometimes they're inseparable. Sometimes they're inseparable from some of the things that you're going to have to know when you're dealing with the science of Tajweed. And I'm just mentioning that one point in itself. Next, after that, we went on to study Izh-har. What is Izh-har? Now, I want to put that point. All this other stuff is background information, right? Now, the meat and potatoes is that we need to know what the rulings are. The rulings that we're studying in Tajweed. And we went over what tilawa, the types of tilawa, right? We went over those things. And some people had questions about that. And we mentioned that if you're reciting Quran and someone says to you, oh, you're not reciting, you're reciting too fast, you're disrespecting the Quran, or anything that you know you can't argue with an ignorant person. And we have to start becoming real adult about this and say, shame on you. Shame on you that you're 30, 40 years, 50 years old and you don't know what your own religion is. You don't know anything about your book. Not shame on me. And I'm not trying to make people become separatists, but the time has been past where we keep on taking in and dealing with ignorance as though the person who is not ignorant is wrong. No, the person who is ignorant, he is blameworthy. Okay? Because there's a certain type of ignorance that you're allowed. Then, once the opportunity to raise up that ignorance is removed, now you're blameworthy for not learning. Okay? So a child is not blameworthy for not knowing how to pray and how to offer salah or how to read Quran. Once they become an adult, they're blameworthy for not learning how. Okay? So we good? So, going right along, we go into the learning the rules of Izh-har. Izh-har, what does Izh-har mean? First and foremost, you should know that. Izh-har means to make something clear, right? Mubin is a terminology. As a terminology, it means to pronounce the letters, certain letters, in a way that is independent and distinct from another letter. Those letters are 6. What are they? They are Hamza, Faha'un, Thumma, Ainun, Ha'un, Muhmalatani, meaning they don't have a sign over them. Thumma, Ghainun, Kha'u. That's 6 letters of the throat. 6 letters of the what? Throat. Then after that, we went on to the next rule. This is the first rule we learned. And this is the chapter called Noon Sakina wa Tanween, because we went over that. What a noon was, the letter noon, and which a sakina, nothing over it, no vowel sound. So it's n, un, or in. And then we went Tanween, which is the sound of noon sakina without having to write the actual noon. So it still makes the same sound of n, un, or in, right? So now there are rules for it. The first rule we learned is called Izh-har. When the noon is sakina or tanween comes before these 6 letters, then we pronounce it an, un, or in. And we gave examples. So you should at least know man amana. You should know the first one. You should know something from this. Juruf and har. You should know this. Halimun alim. You should know something about these sounds that come with these letters, okay, and be familiar with it. The next one we started with was idgham. Idgham. Say that. Idgham. And I'm only using English numbers or Roman numerals here to help people out on all these different signs that I'm writing at an angle. So I just want you to notice that, because we're going to get to some other things over here. Idgham. We mentioned first that there are 4 rules. للنون ساكنة وللتنوين أربع أحكام فخذ تبييني. So there's 4 rules dealing with nun sakin and tanween, but there's some clarification needed there. The clarification is that idgham is how many types of idgham? There's 2 types. So there's idgham with Ghunnah. Say that. Idgham with Ghunnah. And there's idgham bighayri Ghunnah. Now, Ghunnah we had to define. Ghunnah is holding that air in your nose. Holding it up there. When you say an, or it's that that nasal sound is considered Ghunnah. So that's what Ghunnah is. And so we mentioned that idgham in general has 6 letters that can be wrapped up in the word yarmaluna, right? And that's a ya, that's a ra, a mim, lam, wow, and noon. Those are the letters of idgham. Then, since we said idgham has 2 types, the one with Ghunnah, we call it yanmu. Say that. Say yanmu. Yanmu. So these letters come, and that's a ya, the noon, the mim, and the wow. Those are the letters of idgham bi Ghunnah. With Ghunnah. The ones without Ghunnah is lir, or some people say ril. It doesn't make a difference as long as you know it's lam wa ra. Okay? Those 2 letters. Okay, I like lir because they connect, really. If you do ril, they don't connect. So here it is, the word yanmu and lir. These 2 words. And this is a lam, and this is a ra. That's all it is. And that's a kesra right there. So that's just all it is, kesra. So this is where we're at. This is what you should know at this point. How we utilize this is what we're going to get into next. Okay? Because this text is not a difficult text at all. It's a very simple child's text. It's a child's text. And I'm not trying to disrespect anyone. However, it is detailed. And if you do your job by reviewing it, don't just watch the video. Involve yourself with it. Okay? When we say recite, recite. Everybody recite. Those here and those not here. Okay? And then when you have time out, open your paper and look and see what it is right here. I didn't mail out the text to anybody because the text is well known. You can find it anywhere. It's a well-known text. You can find it at any bookstore. Okay? The text. The explanation of it, I don't know. I have never seen an explanation of it in English. Has somebody has? You have? No. I haven't seen it even in Portuguese. No. I haven't seen it in Portuguese either. Okay, either. In that case, I'm going to erase this right here, and we're going to get to the point where we are. We were at وَالثَّانِ إِدْغَامٌ بِسِتَّةٍ أَتَتْ فِي يَرْمَلُونَ عِنْدَهُمْ قَدْ ثَبَتَتْ لكنها قسمان قسم يدغم فيه بغنة بينمو علما. That's where we were last week. And I'm just going to go over again as a quick review of those points before we go. Okay, لكنها قسمان. Here we go. The text goes, وَالثَّانِي إِدْغَامٌ بِسِتَّةٍ أَتَتْ فِي يَرْمَلُونَ عِنْدَهُمْ قَدْ ثَبَتَتْ. That's the same point we just went over here. And again, this text, I'm saying it over and over again for people to memorize it. It's not cool not to memorize. Those who do not memorize are making a big mistake. Those people who think they cannot memorize, somebody recite to me hickory dickory dock. Yeah, you memorize that, right? And that has no benefit whatsoever. You can't do anything with that. Here's something you can have benefit with. Actually, I'm not going to put this on the board for time purposes. وَالثَّانِي إِدْغَامٌ بِسِتَّةٍ أَتَتْ. The next rule, the first rule was Izh-har. فَالْأَوَّلُ الْإِظْهَارُ. Right? Now the second line, or the second part comes, وَالثَّانِي إِدْغَامٌ. So the first rule is Izh-har. The second rule is Idgham. With regards to what? Noon is sakina, what Tanween. So I'm going to put a noon here and Tanween, just so we can see what we're talking about here. So the first one is Izh-har. And the second one that we're going to go to now is Idgham. Okay, that's the second rule. And we're going to go to the other two rules some other time. Now, Idgham has how many types? Two types, 1 and 2. This one has Ghunnah, and this one has no Ghunnah. Let's do like this. No Ghunnah. Okay? Now, the next line, لَكِنَّهَا قِسْمَانِ قِسْمٌ يُدْغَمَ فِيهِ بِغُنَّةٍ بِيَنْمُ عُلِمًا. The second line goes, لَكِنَّهَا, this one. لَكِنَّهَا قِسْمَانِ قِسْمٌ يُدْغَمَ or يُدْغَمَ يُدْغَمَ. It's يُدْغَمَ. فِيهِ بِغُنَّةٍ بِيَنْمُ عُلِمًا. Sorry. Okay, it says, لَكِنَّهَا. I'm not going to write this all over because we wrote this last week. However, it meaning the idgham, is of two types. A type that has ghunnah, yudghama, that you put ghunnah in there. Fihi, you put ghunnah, yudghama, fihi. That's the end of the sentence right there. Fihi bighunnatin biyanmu ulima. Then he says bighunnah with this fihi bighunnatin biyan. It's not the end right there actually. Fihi bighunnatin biyanmu ulima. So yanmu here it points to the ya, the noon, the meme, and the wow, like we earlier said. Ulima means know these 2 points. Okay? Know that point. After we get through with this, we go on to the next point. Anybody have a problem with that? What it means is those 4 letters. What are the 4 letters? The 4 letters are ya, noon, meme, wow. You can remember them by saying what word? Yanmu. So, we know here idgham has ghunnah in 4 letters. Ya, noon, meme, wow. Know that. You have to know that. Because when you do that, and we mentioned what is ghunnah. Ghunnah is the sound that comes in your nose. How does it play out? It plays out when you recite. And we're going to get to that. Here in my book, I wrote some examples right away. But before I go to my examples, I want to go back to another thing. إِلَّا إِذَا كَانَ بِكَلْمَةٍ فَلَا تُضْغِمْ كَدُنْيَ ثُمَّ سِنْوَانٍ تَلَا. It says إِلَّا, say إِلَّا, meaning there is no ghunnah. إِلَّا, there is no ghunnah. إِلَّا إِذَا كَانَ. Kana here is for ithnan. Kana is for 2. Meaning if these 2 letters, if the noon is sakina and one of the letters of yanmu come together, illa kana bikilmatin. Bikilmatin means in a word. Fala. Then do not. Tudghim. Do not make the ghunnah. Kadunya. Thumma. Sinwan. Sinwanin tala. Okay, see, here it says illa, say illa, idha, kana. You drag that alif a little bit to make it clear that you're talking about alif al-thnain. Kana, bikilmatin. You can say kalimatin, you can say kilmatin, you can say kulmatin. But kalimatin or kilmatin, they mean a word or a sentence. Kulmatin is a piece of earth that is hard, like a rock. So kilma or kelma is a word. In fact, you hear a lot of the Libyan brothers. When they hear something, they say kilma, they say word, kilma, kilma, kilma. They say word, word. Just like they're from Brooklyn. You know, kilma, kilma, kilma. You know, so you can pick that up. And it's proper. Kilma, word. You know, just like that. So that's how you say that. Kilma. Fala. So then do not, tudghim. Then do not make Ghunnah. When you see here noon comes before, ya comes after the noon. Here we have a noon, which is sakin, with a ya, which is mutaharrik. The ya right here. Here we don't make Ghunnah. You do not make Ghunnah here. Why? Because they're in one word. Ghunnah is only between two words. Remember, Izh-har was in one word, right? Or it was between two words, right? Ghunnah is only in between two words, not in the same word. If it comes in the same word, there is no Ghunnah. You pronounce that noon like Izh-har. Clearly and independent. You don't mix it. Okay? You don't mix the sound. They give two examples. Dunya. Say dunya. 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 Now say sinwanin. Sinwanin. I'm separating it there just for sound. If you come to class, you have to recite. Okay? So. Okay. MashaAllah. ¿Ana ni pular? لا. يعني, what language you speak? Spanish. ¿Tú hablas en español? And English. Okay. Well, then I said, yo, if you're in the class, you got to recite, okay? Okay? Okay. Sinwanin tala. Sinwanin tala here. Even though tala is just to complete the line, tala actually means recite the two of them like that. Okay? We call it tilawa. Okay? So it's a play with words, you know? So then recite those two like that. Dunya. Sinwan. So that's the rule right here. If it's in one word, there is no idgham. It's only between two words. So now we're going to go look at Ghunnah, not Ghunnah, astaghfirullah al-azim. We're going to go look at idgham in practice. Okay? I'm going to do this thing in practice now. So we go through the rule. وَالثَّانِ إِدْغَامٌ بِسِتَّةٍ أَتَتْ في يرملون عندهم قد ثبتت لكنها قسمان قسم يدغم فيه بغنة بريم علم إلا إذا كان بكلمة فلا تدغم كدنيا ثم صنوان تلا. Let me go over it again. والثاني إدغام بستة أتت, with 6 letters. في يرملون عندهم قد ثبتت. In the word yarmaluna, indahum, inda, Allah, according to the people of Ada. Ada, you're going to hear this word all the time when you read in the books and you talk to the scholars. Ada means, scholars of Ada are the ones who do the performance and the recitation and the presentation of the Quran. Ahlul Ada. So, according to them, قد ثبتت, it's firm, these 6 letters. إلا إذا كان لكنها قسمان قسم يدغم. However, it's of 2 types. قسم يدغم. One part has idgham بغنة. What is idgham? Idgham is دخل شيء في شيء. What is idgham? دخل شيء في شيء. Even if you don't know what that means, learn it. That's the rule. Idgham is دخل شيء في شيء. What is it? دخل شيء في شيء. It means to enter something into something else. See how I entered my hand into my sleeve? أدغمته. I made idgham of my hand in my sleeve. I entered my hand into my sleeve until it became one. Until it became one. So when you do idgham with ghunnah, you enter them upon each other and they become like one. Right? However, you have to add the Ghunnah, which gives it one more. So it's like you have two lengths. Okay? لكنها قسمان قسم يدغم فيه بغنة بينمو علما. Let's look at that. ينمو. We say ya. Ya is the first letter we're going to look at here when we do Ghunnah. We do Idgham bi Ghunnah. And the first word we're going to have is an yadrib. Say an yadrib. Say, first say an. That's how we have it, right? An. Yadrib. We say yadrib. Yadrib. Now, this is how you, but don't worry about that. This is how you see it immediately. However, this is what's you're going to see. You're not going to see any sukoon in the Quran when you read it. There will be no sukoon over the noon. Because the sukoon is going to point, that little sign I put right there, is going to point to that you establish that noon sound. And the absence of it means something's happening. You'll note that in your masahif, in your books of Quran. Then you'll see a shadda on the ya. A shadda, everybody go like this. This means shadda, strength, right? It looks like a little W, but in actuality, it is a sheen that has the tail cut off and the dots, the diacritical marks, taken away. Okay? So only thing that's left is the points that make it look like a little W. The sheen is equal to the word shidda, which means to strengthen something. As a terminology, what it does, it's a sign. When you see it in the mushaf, to tell you, strengthen this letter. Strengthen this letter. Usually this letter says yadrib, right? Yadrib, not drib. It's not dra. There's no diphthong like that. It's yadrib. Right? The ra is by itself. The ra comes by itself. Say rib. Here, this is yadrib. So get used to that practice. Because Americans, we mix letters together. We say tra. تحركي هذه اللابتوب إلى الجنب الثاني. شكرا. لا هناك على الجدار. So we have to start separating. But here it's telling us دخل الشيء في شيء. Enter this noon onto this ya until it becomes like what? One. So it's like you put it here, you put the ya here, you strengthen the ya, the noon comes over here like that. Okay? So it's almost invisible. Remember we said covering concealment? We mentioned that? It's like it's in the bushes. And the ya is still here. But you strengthen the ya. So which sound do you hear more of? Yeah. The ya. So what you do with your mouth, pay attention. You get ready to make the an sound. Everybody say an. And my mama say, don't you fix your mouth up to... So you fix your mouth up to say an. But you don't say an. You do not establish the an sound. You say a and then you go to the ya. Ay. You see that? Ay yadrib. You see, you say ay, like you're about to say an, but you go to the ya. Say ya. Ay yadrib. Ay yadrib. Don't say dr. There's no dr sound in Arabic. It's yadrib. No, yadrib. Right, the ra is separate. That's tajweed. Tajweed is to give every letter its own sound. This is a secondary point, has nothing to do with idgham. But you pronounce each letter by itself until there's a sukoon, and that's only going to be on the letter that it's coming from. You know, the sukoon is going to be on the letter, but the sound's coming from the previous letter. Okay, the vowel sound. Okay? There's no two letters standing next to it. This letter has sukoon, so its sound stops right there. It doesn't affect the ra. So you don't say dr. You see what I'm saying? You don't say dr. This sound stops with that fatha. Yalb. Now this one starts rib. If you're going to keep going, you would say ri only. Ri, and then ba, riba. Not riba, but riba. Each one, its own sound. That's why people shouldn't rush to recite Quran. Recite it nice and slow. Ay yadrib. Ay yadrib. Or ay yadriba. That's what we said. وَلَيْسَ بَيْنَهُ وَبَيْنَ تَرْكِهِ إِلَّا رِيَاضَةُ امْرِئٍ بِفَكِّهِ. There's nothing from you doing it or leaving it off except the man exercising his jaw. أَن يَضْرِبْ. And after a while, you get to do it easier without a whole bunch of workings, okay? The second one is, let me erase this stuff right here. Excusez-moi. Oh, I should say, con el permiso, mi hermano. Yo no quiero un problema contigo. Como aquí. Now, see. Okay. The next one is Yawma idin. No. There's no izin. It's Yawma idin. Stick your tongue out your teeth. We got to go back to master letters. That's why. No. Wallah. That's why we do the letters like this. Because, knowledge, I keep trying to say this over and over again, as great and lofty it is darajat. It is levels and degrees. You can't go over here until you're ready. Everybody got to get 100. And once you master this, now you can master it. You can't master the second science if you haven't mastered the basic. Okay, no disrespect to whoever said that. So it's the. The tip of your tongue slides out, like this is your tongue, this much of it comes out across the board, and you bite it. That. You bite it just enough that you don't want it to get hurt, and you say that. Yawma idhin. And if you haven't stuck your teeth between your tongue, you didn't make the sound properly. Even if it sounds like it, it ain't right. It's counterfeit. You know what I'm saying? It's a counterfeit sound. Okay? What happened? The sound left? You want me to stop? I mean, if it ain't got no sound, it ain't no benefit. So we just hurry up and just do a quick oil change. Change the tires on the car. Yawma idhin. Yawma idhin. Yasduru. Say yes. Duru. Yes. Afwan. Yes. Duru. Yes. Duru. Okay. So now we're going to make idgham. We're going to make idgham. I can go ahead, right, Makeen? Okay. We're going to make idgham of the tanween with the ya. So we won't see this the regular ya. We'll see a shadda on the ya. The shadda, the sign of shadda, will let us know that we don't say yawma idhin. We have to enter this into that ya. So we get ready to say the noon. In the mushaf that you find from Indo-Pakistan, they'll put a little noon sometimes there for you to see it. That's only if it's going to be Izh-har. If it's not going to be Izh-har, you won't see it. Okay? So it'll be Yawma idhin yasduru. Yawma idhin. You see, I extended it, right? That shadda strengthens it, so I give it an extra sound. An extra length, I should say. I give the ya 2 sounds. How long is a sound? A sound or a haraka, I don't know if we covered this before, is the amount of time it takes you to open your finger or close it. A, ba, ta, tha, ja, ha, ha, da. That's how we do it. So it's ya, but now we're saying idhin, right? Idhin ya. Okay, you said it? Idhin ya. So I says 2 yas, right? Idhin, but when I don't say idhin, I say idhin. I get ready to say that noon. Then I go to the ya. Idhin yas. Say it. Idhin yas. See, that tongue has to go up. When you say that salt, it goes up and to the front. Remember that. That's why we say learn the lessons in order. So when we get to tajweed, he's not saying something new. He's saying what you already knew. Yeah, I'm playing with words, He's saying something you already know, I should say, basically. Okay? Which is, when you make the sad, you raise your tongue up into the front. Right? So you say, aus. Aus. You see your tongue is up into the front, right? So you say, yaus. Yaus. It don't say yaw, but it's yaus. Because the sad sound, which is itbaq, which is the round mouth, doesn't affect the infitah, the fat of the ya. So you're going to say ya, right? But now you're saying yaus. So a fat is going to, an open mouth is going to an itbaq. So say yaus. So now say yawma idhin yaus. No easy, and I caught you. You know, yawma idhin yaus. I got to apologize to my Portuguese brothers. It was an African. Not stuff with light. Yawma idhin yaus. What you have to do is consciously stick your tongue out. That's what you have to do. And when you do that, that's why we go over here the exact point of articulation, where you exactly put your tongue. So it's yawma idhin yasduru. Yasduru. Yawma idhin yasduru. Now what people do, and they think it's cute, and some people, I can't say think it's cute, that sounds facetious. They think it sounds good, and it may sound good to those who don't know. Some reciters, they extend these points, okay? So they'll go, Yawma idhin, I'm being, exaggerative, but, they do that. They go, Yawma idhin yasduru. Nah, we can't do that. How long should we last it? Two, right? It should be two lengths. It's the same as those people who go, they've added 3 fathas when it's supposed to be ya. You understand that? And it may sound, well, it sounds good. No, if you do it because you got emotional and it was a slip and you're reciting and you lost your voice for a second, so you had to catch it, that's not considered a big deal. Jalla ma la yashu. Allah is the only one that doesn't make mistakes. Okay? However, if you did it thinking to beautify the Quran more than Allah beautified it, then it is haram. Okay? It is something manhiyun anhu, according to the people of Adab. Because you added letters to the Quran. Okay? And that's why we have to discipline ourselves. When we were younger and didn't know any better, my father used to listen to jazz. Okay, my father's non-Muslim, so I'm not broadcasting a Muslim sense. But he used to listen to jazz, and we used to listen to it in the home as children, not knowing any better. And we used to think, oh, that was great. This is, beautiful. And he used to say, no, it only sounds good if they can hold the note, they used to say. Those people who break the note and stuff like that, that's because their voice is not strong enough to hold the note. Likewise with the Quran. The best tajweed is the one where you hold the note properly. Okay? And you don't have to do anything else just to keep yourself there. I told you the difference between the mutahafiz and the hafiz is that the hafiz knows how much air he needs to get through that ayah. Okay? And that's what it comes down to. Having enough air. It's even tied to his eating. He knows how much energy he needs and how much liquid he should have drunk in order to come up with the proper sounds in reciting the Quran. It is that detailed. I know different huffaz in Africa who won't eat certain fruit and they won't eat certain nuts because it makes their voice a certain way. Okay? I forgot what that brown root nut is. You know what I'm talking about? The red one? Cola. The cola. You see people, they won't mess with it because it's going to do them. Okay? Okay? So now he said the cola. Now, you have that, right? Alhamdulillah. So what we're going to do here is Yawma idhin yasduru. Yawma idhin yasduru. Yawma idhin yasduru. Yawma idhin yasduru. That's for the ya. And I spent a lot of time with that one. The other one is very easy. Okay, here we have the word men. Say men. Men. Here we have a noon with another noon. That's why I said this one is easy, right? A noon with another noon. How many noons are there? Sheikh Muqbil used to ask questions like that. Rahimahullah. He used to say, how many noons are here? There was an ayah that had 45 noons. Someone asked to go to the bathroom. He said, no one can go to the bathroom until you tell me which ayah has 45 noons in it. You should have heard the people go, I'm trying to get it. And then finally, they got it. It's the ayah of hijab. But we'll go here. And he says, Man nasha'u. Now here, how many noons are here? I can't hear you. Don't be scared. Three. Okay, there's three. 1, 2, 2. Right? So that's 3. Everybody see that? Because that shadda means what? To strengthen that one. So we strengthen it with another one. Okay? We strengthen it with another one. So that's 3 noon sounds. How long are we going to hold that? Well, actually, it's going to be like 3 or 2.5 or like that. So you say, Man nasha'u. You don't go man-nan. You don't say man-nan. Once you touch it, you don't break it. Okay? Because dakhala shay ala shay. You entered the noon into the other noon. And that sound, let me go back. I didn't mention something. This is always Ghunnah. So when you say ayn, you hear the air that you're holding in your nose, say ayn yadrib. You feel it in your nose? Okay? Now say man. You see, that's Ghunnah. It's all in your nose. You're holding it. Man nasha'u. Man nasha'u. Okay, so that's one. You entered the noon onto the other noon until it became very, very strong, and you said it loud like that. The next one, I don't think we need to spend much time with this one because it's easy. Okay, because it's a noon sound. So let me go this one. I'll do another yawma idhin because this other one, we say hettatun naghfira. Here, naghfir lakum. I don't want to use that example because in Warsh it's different. So I'm going to use the yawma idhin again, okay? Yawma idhin. Yawma idhin. Yawma idhin. Na'ima. 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 Na. Always be careful when you come from a fatha to a ayn. Okay? So fatha is clear. Na. Not na. Na. Ima. Ima. Na'ima. And you extend it just a little bit because there's an alif there. Yawma idhin na'ima. We pay attention to the noon, the tanween as it goes into the noon, and I put the shadda there. This is also with a Ghunnah. Yawma idhin na'ima. Yawma idhin na'ima. But that's what's matlub. For you to make your mistakes here. We say sweat blood. Bust it here. Do it wrong here. Why? Because you get so sensitive when a teacher threatens to hit you and brings it to your attention. You know what I'm saying? So that's when you become sensitive. That's what knowledge is supposed to do, to make you sensitive to mistakes. Remember, the objective here of learning tajweed is to become so sensitive to what is wrong that you shy away from it. Your tongue gets so used to doing it right that when your ear hears it wrong, it's, oh, I can't stand that. What's going on? Some of you probably refuse to pray behind people because you realize it's not even Quran. It's so wrong. You say, I'm not going to pray. Be careful. There's some instances like that. Try to approach people. Again, this is the years of shame on you, not on me. You know? So we need to approach people saying, shame on you. You haven't learned how to recite the Quran this long. You need to stop. Stop putting yourself forward like that and forcing your haram stuff on us. You're forcing us to follow you in the wrong, in the improper way of reciting the Quran. Why don't you go to somebody? Nobody's perfect. Go to somebody and learn how to recite Quran. And if you think I'm wrong, let's go to somebody you agree on, and we'll see if you're reciting the Quran correctly. Why? Because we have an example of this, a precedence of this. When Umar ibn Khattab saw the man reciting Quran, he couldn't stand it. He couldn't stand it. And he waited till the person finished, and then he said, let's go. We go on to, where'd you learn that from? Who taught you that? And that's what you should ask these people. Who taught you that? Well, they usually find out nobody, the invisible they. That's how we, this no isnad, no chain of narrations of a person bidabt. Well, let's go and find out if that's the proper way you can recite the Quran, because I learned it different. Okay? And what you're doing is not Quran, or it's not proper. Let's go to somebody and recite and learn and see what they say about our reciting. And go to one of the imams, inshallah ta'ala, established people. Don't go to that imam that's in the alley, nobody knows him. You don't know who he is, Like Father, we used to talk about Father Muhammad. Who is that guy? You know what I'm saying? He came and he disappeared. Nobody knows who he really was. He could somebody be someplace right now. He could probably be Sheikh Jilani in India someplace or Pakistan. We don't know. So, learn the proper way of reciting the Quran. And when you hear it and properly done, ask the person, who taught you that, and then go with that person to somebody else, and you yourself go learn from somebody. Okay? So, يَوْمَئِذٍ نَاعِمَةٍ. Raise your aswatukum, your voices. Raise your voices. يَوْمَئِذٍ نَاعِمَةٍ. Did you hear my ayn? Every letter that you say should be distinct. يَوْمَئِذٍ نَاعِمَةٍ. Too fast. Don't rush, don't run. Don't get to the noon and jump off it. Don't say, يَوْمَئِذٍ نَاعِمَةٍ. No, it's يَوْمَئِذٍ نَاعِمَةٍ. Count. Okay? Use your fingers. Like you tell children when they first start learning how to read, you tell them count. Count your nose, your eye, you start counting everything. Until you get good, and then you don't have to count anymore. You'll see some teachers sitting there going like this, or beating their leg. They're counting. So what about us? يَوْمَئِذٍ نَاعِمَةٍ. Right. And Arabic is a language of exaggeration. So if you give a little bit more, it's better than giving too little. Okay? I'm not saying go يَوْمَئِذٍ نَاعِمَةٍ. That's wrong. People do that.
Yeah. When I listen to the Quran, that's what I hear.
Some people, hey, I'm telling you, wallahi al-azim, some people on the radio that have the sharita, the tapes, they do it wrong. Who am I, right? A lot of people don't. This is the hard part. Because I'm saying, sometimes when you hear on the radio, on the CDs that my king gives out, the person might be wrong. Now, let me tell you something. What happens is, what happens sometimes is the sheikh is leading the salah. I used to work in the studios and used to be editor for the person when they're reciting. And usually my boss used to tell them, don't tell them you're from America, because they don't want to listen to you. They don't want to listen to you give them a mistake if you're from America. When I was in Egypt, so I would tell them, Ana min Mauritania, I'm from Mauritania, meaning I came from Mauritania. Ta'ari, turn people away. But what happens in the studio, you won't find these type of mistakes. Because whoever's there, the guy's reciting, he has somebody there reading and checking him. Okay? Reading. Then afterwards, you play it and somebody listens to the whole thing and checks it too. Okay? Now, if the person is leading the salah, like at the Kaaba or different places like that, they're in the salah and they're into it, And so these type of mistakes, they come out like that because the persons get so emotional. This is not considered a major mistake in that regard, like I stated earlier, because they're reciting it. But in the studio, when you can stop, we did, and I'm not trying to say, I'm just trying to, like I said, the Prophet ﷺ, he said that he is going to be the one people come to Yawm al-Qiyamah, and this is no boast. That's what he said. Then we find in the Quran where Yusuf said, I am somebody that's trustworthy, I can handle this. And that wasn't considered bragging. I'm saying some things now about different experiences that I've had in other people, not in the point of bragging, but to make you feel secure. The Quran that you have in the Arabic, English from Dar es Salaam, I edited that whole thing. Okay? Where we put the English in the Arabic and put the English in Arabic. And in some places where Sheikh Nader is reciting, he got angry at a certain time and he wouldn't redo certain parts. So I would cut his voice out in one place and put it in another place where he would make like a noon. And I hear it. It sounds crazy terrible to me. But when other people don't notice these types of things, that's what happens in the studio. Okay? So sometimes you hear the guy reciting and he's holding the tone for such a long time and he didn't take a break. That's because we recited that twice. And then we cut out the breath. Okay? We cut the time down and cut out the breath so you wouldn't hear it. So the studio is totally different than the person actually doing it. And that's why you find some of those mistakes where the person gets emotional into it. However, discipline yourselves. You know, if he goes a little extended, he knows it. But it shouldn't be a long like I exaggerated here. Does that make sense? Yawma idhin na'ima. You bounce off the third one. Yawma idhin na'ima. Okay, let's move on, because I see that some people are coming and he looks like the imam. So the next one is meme, okay? Meme. Everybody say meme. Meme is easy also. Okay. Here we have min. Everybody say min. Now say malin. Here you don't recite this right here. You don't even recite it. You won't hear it. You go straight to the meme. Say mim malin. Mim malin. Mim malin. Mim malin. Mim malin. Mim malin. Don't close your lips all the way. Mim, don't make it really close, like it's very small slither. That's what Imam Husri used to do, rahimahullah. Very small slither. Some people close their mouth all the way and say mim automatically. No. But what you do here, because it's a noon, that's the first one, you close your mouth, but it's like very small. Mim, can you see my mouth? Mim malin. You hear it? Mim malin. Okay? Because it's going. So it's a slight opening. Okay? Allahu a'lam. Mim malin. And the other one is siratam mustaqima. Siratam mustaqima. So here we go straight. Siratam mustaqima. There's a ta right here, my crazy right. You see that? Siratam mustaqima. You see it? It's very easy. You just straight to the meme. You might see it. Siratam mustaqima. No. Siratam mustaqima. And the next one is noon, right? No, yanmu. No. Wow. Say wow. Min waq. Okay, stop. You don't say the noon. Here, the noon is not pronounced. What we're going to do here, do you have me? You say min waq. You get ready to say the noon. Say min. Min. Now say mil. You see, you go to the what? Say what? What? Mil what? You see that? You go to the noon sound, but then you come with the sifat of wow. Mil waq. The coffee in New York sounds a lot like cough. Just a Q without U and then add off. Cough. So you say min waq. Min waq. You start off with that noon sound, right? Min waq. Min waq. 2 minutes. Okay, one more right here. And jannatin. Jannatin. Wa uyun. Yun. Okay? So here, the shadda is here. Watch the letter. So the tanween is coming into the wow. So these two are coming together. So it's not going to be jannatin. It's going to be jannatin wa. Okay? Jannatin wa uyun. Because there's an alif here. So you say jannatin wa uyun. Sounds like a Gatling gun. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Say jannatin wa uyun. The first one, see, this has shadda on it. Say jan. You hold it twice, right? Jannatin wa uyun. Assalamu alaikum, Ustad. Jannatin wa uyun. You have to hold this one twice too. Here is 2, here is 2. Okay? And this is the last one because I see the Imam is here. Jannatin wa uyun. Don't even worry about this uyun at this point. Just remember that here, when you do the tanween, you're not saying noon sound. You're not going to say the noon sound totally. You're going to fix your mouth to say jannatin. Say that. Jannatin. How old are you holding the noon here? 2. What's 1? Show me 1. No, how do you make 1? How do you configure out 2? No, you open your finger once and you close it. Okay? So here that's right. So here, and now you have an alif. So you extend it a little longer. You don't say jannatin, right? You say jannatin, right? Now, right when you get ready to say jannatin, you don't say tin, do you? No. What happens? The wow, it has a shadda over. So you idghamhu. You make idgham right there by entering the wow at that last second, and you say jannatin wa. Say that. Not tum, tin. Tin wa. Jannatin wa uyun. No, not jan. Jim has fath. So you have to say ja. Jannatin wa uyun. And I don't want to, we have to stop here because it's time for the salah. We want you guys to practice, but remember, you're practicing with the video or in this type of class is in a familiarization. You're going to have to eventually go to those guys sitting in the back and sit in front of them. And it's done like this. You know, Tom, come here. Just sit right here. You go to the person. You want somebody to teach you to recite. You wait till they finish. The man, let's say this is the man. He's reciting. He's finished his salah. You wait behind him. They used to teach you. You sit. You don't sit where he can see him because you don't want to mess up his ibadah. When he finishes, make like you taslim to the right and to the left. Then you come around to the person and you sit right in front of them. You sit right in front of them. And then you ask them. If you're a lady, you stay behind them. The ladies in Mauritania used to recite Quran right from behind the shiur, right behind them and recite. And he used to correct them and everything just from sitting there, turn his face maybe and say something. Okay? So you sit in front of your teacher, not this way, not that. You sit right in front of him and you ask him to teach you with Quran and you recite to them. You raise your voice in a way, then you have some respect and the person will teach you. They will be bound to teach you. Even if they ain't got enough food in their house, they will teach you. Okay? أقول قولي هذا صح ولا لا؟ أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.